Charities and not-for-profits come into existence with the main purpose of eliminating their own need. Rather than focusing on the costs of running a charity, it's important to look at the impact that a charity has on its community they serve, or how the donation contributes to the charity. When issues touch our lives, we are intrinsically motivated to help a cause that speaks to personal passions and experiences. Unfortunately, the organizations with the biggest bank accounts have more money to talk about how great they are doing, as opposed to actually doing a good job. Take, for example, the United Way. Roughly 70% of the money they raise is directed to various organizations in the community. I asked one organization why they don't apply for United Way funding, and the response brought tears to my eyes. I was told that they had asked in the past, but that the United Way told them that all funds raised during the campaign would have to be given over to the United Way. They were also told that if they were given, let's say, a check for $30,000 directly, then they would also have to write that check over to the United Way for the same amount, with no guarantees that they would receive the money back, as the United Way would decide the amount of donation that they would receive. That logic does not make sense to many organizations who are begging and pleading at certain times of the year where the need is the highest. I was also told a story that they did receive a check from the United Way once as a one-time donation with no strings attached, simply due to the persistence of the community phoning the United Way, inquiring what they were doing to help the charity out. United Ways across the country, according to information on Canada Revenue's website, spend roughly 5 to 10% of their annual revenue on advertising, promotion, and donor recognition events. A random sample of various local charities indicate they spend less than 1% of their annual revenue on advertising and donor recognition. Why is that? If it's not okay for large financial companies to reward their top producers for doing a good job, and ironically, these are the people who have the time to volunteer, are passionate about their communities, and sit on boards of directors for nonprofits, then why is it okay for the United Way to tell other charities what they can and can't do while spending more of people's hard-earned donation dollars on advertising and recognition events to talk about how great of a job they are doing, when other organizations that are making a positive impact are scrutinized if their expenses go over 20%? I do not know what the solution is, as I see a myriad of options, but what is good for the goose must be good for the gander. We live in a democratic society, and for an organization as the focus of the community, whether you believe it to be good or not, funds raised should be directed where the biggest needs rest in the community, regardless of whether cross-promotion occurs or not. After all, eliminating hunger, poverty, and homelessness should not be a competition.